Good afternoon, grazers. Today is the 14th, I think 13th or 14th of August, and it's definitely turned off. You know, the rain that we had spoiled us, and it's turned off dry. And so I'll show you what the ground looks like. Obviously, there's green all around me, so I really can't complain that much. Feel blessed to have the rain that we had, and I have so much stockpile here. It's kind of crazy. But I wanted to just talk real quick, show you where I'm at. This section that I'm in right here, I'm doing daily moves, and this area got hit really hard during one of our rains. Some rain came through that I wasn't really expecting, and at the same time, so it was pugged up really bad. A few years ago, I came through here and I had planted some sorghum, Sudan grass, and pearl millet. And then I also planted some quick and big spreader, is what I planted for some crabgrass. And it really didn't do anything that year, and I didn't think it was going to really make much. And every year since then, it was Red River crabgrass, I believe is what I put in here. I was hoping to get the quick and big spreader, but didn't get it ordered in time. So Red River crabgrass is what I put in here. And I'm going to flip this around and how tall this crabgrass is. You know, I have one of my O'Brien stakes right there, and you can tell it's a couple feet tall. You'll notice if you look at the ground, that's why we say it's pretty dry here. There's lots of plant spacing in here, and but the crabgrass came on pretty good. But this is one of the more, I'll say, weedy sections that's down here. There's pigweed, I believe that's what this is commonly referred to as, is like a spiny pigweed. There is, and you can see the cows are absolutely eating it, clipping the tops off of it. And I'll show you where we were at and where they are now. And so I think they're doing 75% harvest. If I was going to guess, maybe it's 70% efficiency. And but you know, we're still going through it. There's a bunch of there's a little bit of Johnson grass left in here, and then there's some cocklebur that's over there, and the cows will eat cocklebur just fine, as long as they start eating all that just fine. There is some perilla mint, which the cows never eat that I ever see. There is nettle right here that's in here, and they're eating it just fine. Usually it's one of the last things they eat. You can see what they're doing to the Johnson grass. They're stripping the leaves off. It's pretty mature. You can see here, this is what I'm talking about. There's plenty of plant spacing down here. You know, I pugged it up pretty bad. That was a huge mistake on my part, just not spacing them out far enough. Over here, I know somebody will ask probably, or think, you know, what are you doing over there? So this is my first time trying to ever plant some corn, and I did not spray it with anything. I just had the cows tread the corn in, and you know, I really like to deer hunt. More than anything, I enjoy seeing my kids deer hunt. I have an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old, and so far both of them love hunting and are great hunters. So this year I actually planted some corn and some soybeans, and so it's not going to make anything spectacular. There's no high yield here. So when late season gets in for deer, we will open the fence up and we'll let the deer eat this. And once later on in the year, we'll turn the cows in to eat what's left, and we'll just feed it at high stock density, or we'll harvest it at high stock density. And if we have to supplement a little bit of protein, we'll do that. So got a hot zone fence, homemade hot zone fence around this thing, as you can tell. and it's nothing spectacular, but it's going to make a little bit of corn. Nobody really around here plants corn and leaves it. There's some that plant it for dairy farms, but take a look at, you know, just some of the manure in here, and you can see, you know, this section over here where I was just looking at looked just like this. And I've been trying on days that I am off in the summertime with the kids. I try to move cows around lunchtime, and most people probably know that that's when the bricks are the highest, the sugar content is the highest in the plants at that time. And so so that's great, putting them in at that time. You can see I think they all are looking fairly fat right now. And so we're just gonna continue harvesting this. By the time the end of the day gets here, there's a lot of stems left, but they're still gonna go through and clean it up. So this is what's here. I have historically, this is the bull. You can see him, he's in there with the cows. I plan on pulling him out August 23rd is my plan. And that is a Faro Cattle Company bull. And so he's staying fat just fine. And but the plan going forward is to try to introduce Mashona genetics into the herd, and try to get to where I have at least a 50-50 mix Angus, or a 50-50 composite, I guess. So plenty of feed here, as you can tell. The cows, they've trampled plenty. They'll come back and clean it up a little bit more. So I'll show you where we were at. I have, obviously I have unadapted genetics right now. I have culled pretty hard for cows that just got thin without any supplements. And so I probably have to be a little more careful and pushing the cows too hard. But they were at yesterday over here, and then you can probably see the green line going right up the middle right here, and that's where they're at for today. Tomorrow I'll give them this last section, and then we're moving up by the house. So over here is they're retreating underneath these walnut trees for shade over here, and their water is located over here in the corner. I had a lane going back up to a tire water the other day, but this will give them 3 days across here, and never try to wait more than 3 days before I move them on to the next section. So there is no rain in the forecast, and that's just kind of the way things go sometimes. So I think we'll see timeline wise, or paddock wise, where we're at. So what I had this year was about 50 acres that I was planning on using as my growing season area. 50 acres for a buffer zone, so that way we could, if we ran out of grass inside of the growing season area, we could move to that buffer area. And then also at least 65 acres that I had for stockpile. And so what I've ended up using this year, I was planning on trying to jump paddocks to my best forage into the buffer area as necessary. And as I started going around the growing season area, I never made it into the buffer area. Whether it's a combination of the total grazing program, which I believe, as well as 35 inches of rain in the first 3 months of the growing season. We grew a lot of grass, and so I'm really just grazing on a little less than 1/3 of the property so far. In that 50 acres of growing season that I had set aside, and I need to do a map of that, or I have a map of it, I need to do a video of it. But where I'm at in that is, in that 50 acres, I have 25 acres at least ahead of me that is fully recovered and ready to be grazed right now. And so that's where we're headed to. We're just going to continue back around that on that 1/3 of the property. And I think by the time I get through those 25 days or 25 acres, the first part of the other 25 is going to be slowly starting to recover. So I've already been up there. So if we get any rains at all, you know, I'd hate for a hurricane to affect anybody negatively, even though they always seem to go through. But occasionally we get a little bit of spin off from one of those, and if we do, that's going to help with fall growth. And so we're just going to see how far we go here. This is, I'm not using, you know, high stock density the way that most people think of it as at all. But I am doing daily moves, and I'm trying to harvest as much as possible. Sometimes I will do 4 moves a day when I have the ability to do so, and I really like doing that. But that's it. I hope you guys are green and getting some rain, but we're blessed. That's all I can say is we're blessed. So hope you guys have a great day.